Today, like I had said earlier before, if you were listening to my recording, we're going to be talking about all about smart plans in Cap with Command Part 2. This is really just ensuring that you know exactly what kind of smart plans are available to you and really how to follow up with consistency and efficiency so that you win more clients, right? And that's what it's all about. So I'm going to actually just stop my share real quick and give you a visual of the journey of buying and selling real estate. Okay. So let me grab a whiteboard. All right. So this is the journey of buying and selling real estate. Okay. And what I like to just show in this demonstration is really important. Everybody can see my screen, right? Yes. Okay, good. Let me close that out. Let me let more people in. So this is a timeline of let's say 5 to 7 years of owning real estate in the consumer's world. All right. And what does this mean? This means that at the top of this hill represents closing day. Everybody's excited. You're excited. You're getting paid. Your clients are excited. They finally bought their home. They closed on their home. Everybody's celebrating. And this is where the next day represents, is the bottom of the hill. And can I just say, it's an emotional roller coaster for everyone, right? You're going through the highs, you're going through the lows with them. You're trying to find more clients. Who's next on your list, right? And the consumer is going to eventually buy again. And that's what this next hill represents, right? Buy, sell. So the name of the game for you is here and here and here. Anybody want to tell me what this area represents? What do you think this area represents?
When they're thinking about buy or sell.
Yeah, that's true. I love that, Lisa. Who else wants to take a stab at it too? We're going to throw some hearts in to kind of give you a clue. What do you think those hearts represent?
Got to give them some love and stay top of mind there. So,
Yay, Mark, for the win. Good job. That is so true. That's right. That is absolutely right. So this area is what we call cultivating the relationship, nurturing the relationship. And so I just stepping into this moment of today's a closing day. What does tomorrow bring to you? You look up and you know who's in your pipeline, or you look up and you go, who's next? I don't know who's in my pipeline, right? And that's the journey that you all are on. So this is the importance of smart plans and follow-up plans. Super, super important. And the real estate game is saturated. There are so many real estate agents out there, and especially in Colorado. So you are in a very competitive world where they can hire anyone. And if it's happened to you and they're like one of your friends, and then you turn around and you're like, oh my gosh, I just sold their home with somebody else, and why wasn't it me? Most likely, I hate to break it to you, is because they didn't feel connected to you. You didn't nurture the relationship enough. You weren't staying in front of them enough before this day happened. So how can we make a negative into a positive? Stay in front of them more often. Follow up with them to ensure that they have everything they need. Call them. I know I don't connect with somebody that I don't know and build a relationship of trust via text or email. If I don't know you and you're like, I want to talk to this person, you need to be calling me. I need to hear that you're an actual human being. That's how we connect as humans, right? So any thoughts around this before I continue? Or anybody want to chime in with any other thoughts? Any ahas? Okay. So lots to think about in this conversation. And I hope that it brings you more energy to ensure that you have a 33 touch on your database, right? More energy, get into action. So I hope that you take this class in this part of CAP with Command Part 2 and do something this week that will help you move the needle. So I'm going to head to library and I'm just going to discuss. So over here on the left-hand side, to slow it down real quick, I'm going to click on Smartplans and then I'm going to click on library. Okay. And here in this section, if you're somewhat new to KW Command, it's also a very exciting moment in your life and also very overwhelming because there's so many things to pick from. So what I'd like to do is simplify it for you today and really help you start where you should begin. And where you should begin, in my mind, especially when I think about a 33 touch, is the Keller Williams smart plans that have already been created for you at minimum. These minimum 10 will get you to at least 33 touches on one person if you were to adhere all of these smart plans to one person. Okay. So what I'd like to do is just give you a quick, almost like a tutorial of what this feels and looks like. So over here on the right-hand side, you'll see all. If I select that button, it's then going to give me just a bird's eye view of all of the 10 smart plans. All right. Now, every smart plan has a description to it, as well as when it was published, how many downloads, how many stars people are rating the smart plan, how many steps, the duration of the smart plan. So meaning how long will the smart plan run, how many touches, which I love. So get out a calculator, do this with me. I think it's really wise to really be strategic with how many touches, because even the MREA will tell you that when you have at minimum 33, then your results should be a referral and a repeat client. Okay. So this has 1 touch, this has 8 touches, that's 9. This has 1 touch, that's 10, that's 12, so 2 more touches there. 15, 19, 20, 27, 29. Oh, here comes somebody else. So around 32 touches, okay? Now, the reason why I say to start here is because a lot of these really already will match to your audience. So the biweekly neighborhood nurture, the 8x8 new contact engagement. So this is somebody that's brand new that came into your world that you need to continue to follow up with consistently. Your quarterly call plan is great because that will ensure that you remind yourself to call your sphere of influence. I would put the quarterly call plan on all of your Mets. Check in with them, your past clients, the people that you've done business with already. Midterm nurtures, this is for anybody that raised their hand and said, I'm not ready, but I'm ready at some point mid-year. And long-term nurture, this again will prompt you to not drop the ball for follow-up, because think about the long-term nurture is actually a great moment to just think about that graph that I showed you. So I just bought my home, but like 7 years from now, Like, I don't plan on buying another home next year unless I'm investing in building a portfolio, right? Or it's a second home, or it's an Airbnb, right? So if I am not looking to buy another home that I'll be living in, it's not going to be tomorrow and it's not going to be next year. So long-term nurture is great because it'll remind you to stay top of mind, which I love. Birthday, everybody has a birthday. Everybody wants to be wished a happy birthday. And when you wish somebody a happy birthday, it's a great connecting point, right? And a great way to just feel like you're celebrating them and you thought about them on their birthday. That's huge. And there's 4 touches there. I don't know if you guys can see that, but there are 4 touches in the birthday touches, which I love. And what I'd like to do is point out how you can look at the steps before you add. So I'll just say view steps on the Smart Plan. And there you go. It'll say create a touch task, like a birthday card. And see how it says contact first name, contact last name. These are called merge fields, which means when I place a Smart Plan on somebody that has a birthday, it'll merge their name into the merge field. So when I look up and I look at my to-do list on my command app, it will say their actual first and last name. Make a call. So call them on their birthday and then do something for their social media, go post on their timeline on Facebook, and then send a text, happy birthday. Like, that's a lot of touches. And, you know, that's a pretty big deal, right? That's an easy one. Monthly neighborhood nurture and the biweekly neighborhood nurture. You'll see that there are 172,000 agents within our ecosystem that are using these two. 204,226. That's huge. That's a huge number. And the reason why is because those 2 Smart Plans are liquid gold. They're underrated. They are so amazing that those 2 Smart Plans will literally help you win your next deal. And I'll walk you through the reason why here soon, because I want to stay focused on just these top 10. The open house follow-up plan, this one's lovely because it gives about 7 touches. And if you're doing open houses to go capture leads, by the way, that's one of the most top performing ways to do these days. It's face-to-face. You could place an open house touch follow-up plan on them as soon as you meet them. And it will ask them what they thought about the house, what the feedback was. It'll remind you to make a phone call to touch base with them, see if they're unrepresented. Make a call, right? So all of these are great. And you'll see down below, it says add to Smart Plan anytime, long-term nurture, which means by day 21, they're going to be automatically added to the long-term nurture Smart Plan, which I love. So some of these Smart Plans have additional Smart Plans that will run continuously for another duration once that Smart Plan has been completed. Okay. And I'll talk you through what that looks like here in a few. Home anniversary is great. Of course, anybody that wants to be celebrated that day that they bought their home a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago. Heck, I wish my real estate agent would have done that for me, because guess what? I most likely would have hired her again, right? Promote my app. That one's great just because it gets people living in your command world, meaning if they were to download that app, you're going to get a registration notice in command. You're going to get all of the houses that they look at inside their contact record, which makes it easier to have a warmer call and or just follow their patterns to see if they are looking to buy or sell. So when I think about follow-up plans and staying top of mind, I always like to start here for anybody that's brand new to this system, because that's a great way to start on all of your Mets and the people that matter most. Before I continue, do you have any questions for me? Okay, pretty straightforward. I'm going to walk you through how to add a Smart Plan here soon, but before I do, I want to talk about some other things that I think are important to look at inside the Smart Plan library. first we need to know the who, right? So who do I need to be in front of at least 36 times a year? And where did I meet them? Okay. Anybody here read the Shift book? Yes, no, unmute yourself.
Yes, I did.
Okay, so there's 6 connecting questions in the Shift book that will help you identify who are they? How did you meet them? Where did they come from? Where do they live? And so I highly encourage you, if you have not read that book, it's a great book to just go back and get back to the basics of how to identify your sphere of influence and also how to shift your mind around lead gen. Shift your mind around having different types of conversations in a shifting market. And when I think about the who, I think about those sort of questions, like how did I meet them? Where did they come from? Where do they live? How do I know them? And you're going to ask yourself those questions as you search for another smart plan to place them on. So let's pretend I found somebody that was a lead in my world coming from Facebook. If I were to type in, excuse me, at the top of the screen here, Facebook, the smart plan name, you have 3 options: the smart plan name, the author name, or the description. I left it on the smart plan name because what I really want to look for is a Facebook smart plan that will bring me success to help me convert those Facebook leads at a high level. Okay. I will tell you that there are plenty of Facebook smart plans in here, and yet I'm going to make there's even Spanish speaking, which is amazing. So yeah, anybody bilingual, type in the language that you want to translate, use, and it will use that. Or there are several different people in here that have created different types of smart plans with different languages, which is amazing. Amazing. Okay. So what I was trying to say is the Relevate smart plan for Facebook lead follow-up is a really, really good one. So I'm going to type in Relevate. And for those of you who are here who don't know who Relevate is Tyler Shields' team name. Okay, so I'm going to just type in Relevate. And Tyler is a huge success story around how to convert online leads. And so he's shared his smart plan in here. I'm just going to go to Tyler. Let's do that. Tyler Shields, great guy, great friend of mine. Mega agent, lives in Gary's MREA group. So he is very successful at that. So I'm not sure why this isn't working. Give me a second, guys. We're going to give Command a good refresh. It happens, especially during live demos. All right, so I'm going to go back to author name. We'll type in Tyler. Okay, there it is. So Relevate's new lead follow-up. These are great because it has his specific recipe on how to follow up with online leads, whether they're Facebook, anywhere online that you've captured the lead. His claim to success is in this smart plan. So that one's a really good one, and I highly suggest it. Okay. So use this search box here for your people. What do they need? Where do they come from? Who are they? Maybe they're past clients. I'm just going to type in past clients. Oops, that's author name. Let me switch that over to smart plan name. There it is. Past clients quarterly call plan, 5 by 5 by 5. No social sphere and past clients. There's lots of things in here to look at. And I will tell you, like, don't be fooled by the lack of stars. There's a lot of people that just don't utilize the rating. In fact, I feel like we should probably take them off. But at any rate, there's some really good ones in here. I highly suggest. Okay. All right. So as you can see, it's a really simple way to search what type of smart plan you're looking for the who. So who are they? What do they need? Now let's talk about logistics. So I'm going to head to the Smartplan applet again, excuse me, my Smartplan. So you'll see library and Smartplans. By the way, there's a filter button here, which I love. You can even search by duration, author, how many touches and downloads and ratings. So I should definitely focus on that. You could also look at featured, most used, top rated, or newest. So if you're like, I just want to look at the most used, you can do that. And look, there are the top 10 automatically. See, I'm steering you in the right direction. Okay, now let's head to my smart plans. So as you add your smart plans to your smart plan library, you can search by smart plan. So I'll just type in monthly neighborhood nurture. And then we'll head to the edit button. And you'll see that in some way, shape, or form, some of these smart plans are templated and cannot be customized. The majority can be customized. So I like to just say that the monthly neighborhood nurture cannot be customized because it's already created by KW. But if you want to see how it feels and looks, place it on yourself because it is really, really nice. Okay. I'm going to stop my share. I'm going to go grab some fake contacts. Before I do, does anybody else have any questions? YouTube doesn't like when I put real contacts up. So give me 1 second. All right, so here are my contacts. Now the idea is to place as many touches on one person as possible. Awesome. All right. So now I'm going to come to you and show you that you can do a few things. You can bulk select people and add them to a smart plan, or you can go into that individual and add as many smart plans per individual. Okay. So I would head to smart plans and then say add to smart plan. At this moment in time, you're going to see all of my smart plans that I've created. So they're going to be looking a lot different than yours. And yet the real trick here, or which I should have shown you, let me go back, is I had lost my flow there. The first thing that you want to do is to add the smart plan. So 6 months just looking nurture. I'm going to add that smart plan. And if you cannot download it, it means that you've already downloaded it. Okay, so see how that's grayed out? That's because I already have that. I'm going to say monthly call plan, download. All right. So now that I've downloaded my monthly call plan, this one that's been featured, I'm going to head to my smart plans. And there it is, top of the screen. I'm going to select edit, the right-hand side where that pencil is. And then you'll see make a call. All right, so as I click on make a call, on the right-hand side, it'll show the description, the task name, and the description for that call. Follow up with first name, last name as part of your commitment to calling them once a month. Great. This one does not have a script inside. However, you can place a script inside if you wanted to. So how you do that is you'll select the edit button, and then your description down could be here, and then also add your script. Now I want to show you the use of merge tag. So I'll say add merge tag contact first name. Oops. Wrong box. Let's go down here. Add merge tag contact first name. See how it came in. All right. So now I can write my script, you know. And there you go. Now down below, you'll see you can add hyperlinks. You can also set this as a priority level. So is this high, medium, or low priority? I'll put it as high. And I could also ask it to be when this task should be due. So should it be due the same day when the task comes up in the smart plan, the next day, or 2 days? I'm going to keep same day because I just want to hold myself accountable. And then down below, I can even put a time frame of when this task can be due. So if you're really purposeful, when you're really purposeful with your lead gen calendar, and you say to yourself, okay, I lead gen from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m., I can ensure that this task is going to show up at 9 a.m. See how that works? Calendar and tasks. You can match these two and really build an accountability system with calling people and your lead gen calendar. All right. When should the task be created? I'll say, because it's the same day, it's day 1, I'll say save changes. And then I'll close this button to ensure that it's good. Now, as I click in this gray area here, you're going to see the smart plan details of the smart plan, the duration, the steps, and it's repeated unlimited times, which means that this will continue forever until I take this off somebody. Okay, and I'm going to show you the logistics of what that looks like. Before I do, I want to also show you that you can add trigger tags. Now, this is where I need you to pay attention because I'm going to tell you how you can live a life by design by using these trigger tags, and you can get really purposeful with your tagging system. Are you ready? Okay. So you can create a custom tag that's associated with all of your METs that will trigger this smart plan to go on automatically with just one tag. And that tag has to be a brand new tag. So I'm going to go and create a brand new tag, and then I'm going to come in and associate that brand new tag with this smart plan so that every time I place a tag on my sphere of influence, after this is created with that tag, that plan will automatically be placed on my people. Feel free to rewind the video, okay? It's recorded. All right, now I'll say add trigger tags. Let's say I created that new tag just recently, and it was my SOI tag. I'll say add triggers. And then I want to remove the contact when the contact replies. If I had a text message or an auto email in this smart plan, which I don't, okay? Now, when you do have an email or a text message in a smart plan, you can say remove the contact from the smart plan email when they've replied to it, or remove them from the text messaging setup when they reply to it, because that gets weird when they continue to get the same message, even the reply to it. Make sense? So these two little details were added this year, and I love it because it makes you look like you're talking to them and replying to them. All right. Before I close out of this window, what kind of questions do you have for me? All right, great. Well, it must be nice and clear. Awesome. I'm going to head over here on the left-hand side of the screen. First of all, make sure that you're following the TCPA do not call list always. And this is a great compliance and best practices outreach description. Scrub all of your lists against a national and local and market center do not call lists. Make sure that you've written consent before calling and texting or using a dialer. Include an opt-out message in every time. Don't call or text before 8 a.m. So these are really nice best practices and compliance stuff that you can abide by. Twilio is a third-party company that we use to send out text messages through command, and I'll show you where that lives here soon. And yet on the left-hand side too, I love this because there are tips and rules. Let's do that again. Tips and rules that you can follow to ensure that you're creating your own smart plan and following it the way that Command has it set up. Okay. So if for any reason you get lost, or maybe Command is not doing what the smart plan is not going the way as it should for you, always come back here and look at the tips and rules to ensure that you're following them. Does that make sense? So you have a couple of guides here on the left-hand side built in. Okay, great. So I'm going to go ahead and close, and we'll go back to just a real quick demonstration of a lead. I'll reshare my screen here in a minute as I grab a fake contact. And then we'll go from there. So what I'm about to show you is how to add a smart plan to a contact. And I'm going to walk you through the really two important ones, which will be the monthly neighborhood nurture or the biweekly neighborhood nurture. Okay. So we'll head to Donald Duck. Good old Donald Duck. All right. So I'm going to say smart plans. Add to smart plan. And then I'm going to look up, there it is, my monthly call plan. So see how my monthly call plan shows up right away? I'll select that one. It's going to ask me when I would like for this, this smart plan to begin. And there could be a lot of strategy in play here. Okay, so for now, for me, I'm thinking this reminder is going to come to me once a month. When would that occur for me? Would I like it at a specific date? Should I start it now? Should I start it in the future, basically? And so you have control over that, which I love. So you could say start on a specific date. So let's say I'm going to start making all of my calls on the 30th, or let's say I'll start next week. Great. Now this is going to reoccur on the 17th of every month. Make sense? Because it's a once a month smart plan. Great. So I'm going to say confirm. Now that he's set up on my smart plan, I'm just going to go ahead and give it a refresh to show it. And it will probably, bounce back at me just because it is a fake contact information. Yeah. So that's nice because it will give you, it will give you a clue if the email is working or not, which I love. Now I want to talk you through the monthly neighborhood nurture. Okay. Every contact record will have a section where it says add neighborhood. Now, the beautiful thing is when you have their primary home address inside their contact record, this section will automatically show up around their address. How cool is that? So what I highly recommend is when you do have home addresses, ensure that it is their primary home address inside their contact record so that you will have this section automatically pulled up. Now, last week, if you were in last week's call with me in with Command Part 1, I talk you through this around importing. Does your contact have a primary address? Yes or no? When I showed you yes, this is a section of why this is important. So I'm kind of pulling you back into last week's class so that when you do the import, all of these neighborhoods will pop up and all your next step will be is adding that monthly neighborhood nurture in this section. So you would say add to smart plan. You would type in monthly or biweekly. Okay. And then you would select it. This Donald Duck already has a monthly neighborhood nurture. That's why I can't select it. Okay. Now let's preview what the monthly neighborhood nurture looks like. So I have Province Center, Highlands Ranch, South University, Lark Sparrow Drive. It also provides some suggested neighborhoods, which I love. So I'm going to go ahead and click on them to add those neighborhoods to this monthly neighborhood nurture. All right. So let's go ahead and preview it together. Now that I know that I've selected the monthly neighborhood nurture and I've placed Donald on plenty of neighborhoods, I will show you that it's going to give a summary about Province Center, the market's snapshot, what locals have to say, coffee culture, hops and brews, trendy eats, artsy. That's really cool. Recently sold, and properties that are already active, pending, recently sold, which I love. And if there were any open houses, that will also populate in this section as well. Nearby schools, transit and commute, and nearby neighborhoods, which I am so excited about. So you can see up here that I've also selected Highlands Ranch as the monthly neighborhood nurture. This is also going to provide a quick snapshot and view if it should, after it loads. So the beautiful thing is once you add this monthly neighborhood nurture, Command will automatically send Donald an email saying your neighborhood snapshot or update, and they click and they will see that screen that we just previewed. Okay. Now what happens next is that you get all that data that they're looking at. They're looking at the homes. They clicked on a house. All of that information will live here in this section. So there it is, Highlands Ranch, Crest Place, okay? And what's great about this is that it will show, I'm gonna just show you a quick view. Let's stop sharing. I need to go back and I need to set this to my fake contacts. Let me go grab this as a default view so I don't have to keep doing this. 1 second. Please hold. All right. Now I see a lot of you deep in thought. What kind of questions do you have, or any conversations that you would like to bring up to the group?
Leslie, can you just sort of repeat the number of neighborhoods that you have, but I should keep in mind that there's a primary, like you just talked about Highlands Ranch, but then you had several other selections that you attached to Donald Duck.
Yeah, so the neighborhood nurture is going to be providing a glimpse of all of these different areas inside that one email. So it's going to be one email with several of these neighborhoods in that email. Does that make sense? And I feel like it would be a best way to just show you what that would look like. So let me see if I can grab a live example for you, because I know having that visual is everything to put together what I'm describing. 1 second. My bandwidth is working hard here. Let me close out some applications. And it's a great question. So, all right. Okay, here we go. Let me push this back in. All right, so here's a great example of a live monthly neighborhood nurture. So as you can see, there's neighborhood properties. It gives a quick description of the report for both Woodmar Square and Columbine Knolls North. Okay, and I can click here and explore it. And so this is what I would see as a consumer. Now, if there were multiple,
so this is actually just one neighborhood that we're looking at right now. Woodmore Square / Columbine Knolls. I don't know it, but it's just one.
Yes.
Tag.
Yes, that's right. And yet, if I had multiple neighborhoods on one person, then you would have multiple neighborhoods showing up. So then this would be like explore Woodmore, and then it would be another glimpse of the next neighborhood after this. So then it would be stacked under here. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and can you just say a quick something about like trying to get in the head of the recipient? Why do they want multiple? Like it's where they are living now, perhaps, and
Yep.
what else?
Yep. So let's pretend I'm a seller. I want to know about my area, my neighborhood, and I also want to learn more about other neighborhoods that I'm interested in moving to. So that would be the reason why I would put multiple neighborhoods on one person. And in reverse, if I was a buyer and I wanted to look in different types of neighborhoods to compare price points and average square feet and all the things I need to know, comps, I would look at different neighborhoods to see which one I was interested in, or I am interested in, right? So it could work for the buyer too. And honestly, like that's what's great about the biweekly neighborhood nurture. So if you have a buyer that's like, I'm ready to buy, but I'm not ready for like 6 months from now, put them on a biweekly neighborhood nurture so that they could see what's happening in that area, what locals have to say, the walking score, the commuting time, what kind of homes are selling, and the average price point. All those things is great to know.
And then is there information, like sort of tutorial language that we can provide them, or is it already built into the Smartplans about ways they can customize the information that they'd like to see biweekly?
There's no way to customize the biweekly or monthly neighborhood nurture email. And yet, if I were doing a consult with the buyer, I would let them know, I'm going to place you on a biweekly email that will provide you information about the areas that you described to me that you're interested in. And yet, if there is some more information that you need, let me know so I can increase the cadence of your search. And when that happens, all you would do is go back to that individual and actually create a safe search for them inside their contact record. Okay. So lots of different ways and strategies of going about it. Yeah, great. Great question.
Thank you.
Awesome. You're welcome. All right. So because we only have about 10 minutes left, I want to just encourage you all to follow the steps that I have encouraged you to take by going to the library in the Smartplan library, at least using the 10 Keller Williams and adding a couple more Smartplans to your contacts. Okay. The other thing that I want to point out too is start there. And then if you feel like you want to create your own follow-up plan or a way to communicate to a specific community or avatar, or maybe it's an event that you want to promote, you can actually create your own smart plan by saying create. So let's pretend like the Santa Claus with having Santa. Now, let's rewind. That's too early. Let's say it's a pumpkin patch. I don't want to think about Christmas. Pumpkin patch plan. I'll say create. And let's pretend I'm going to have my next event at the Chatfield Garden Botanic Center pumpkin patch. And I want all of my people to be invited to that pumpkin patch because I'm going to give out free tickets. I'm going to buy them from the place and send it all out. I can create my own plan here. So I can create an email. I can create my own language, all of the things of my own cadence. So I can come in here and drag and drop each step, provide my content, create my design, add another day, and then just build it out that way, one by one by one. Now, I'm not going to take you there yet because it's a lot of information to absorb. I think it's just as a trainer. And so explore that at some point. I do have a specific class that covers custom smart plans inside our YouTube channel. Okay. But don't go there yet unless you really want to. If you're like brand new to the system, I highly encourage you to get your top of mind smart plan set first so that you don't miss anybody in that cultivate section of that. journey of real estate. All right, everyone. Thanks so much for showing up. I hope today was of value to you. And this has been recorded the whole time. Good news. So I will be posting it to the YouTube channel as soon as it converts. Until then, have a great day. I'll talk to you all soon. Thank you. Have a good day. Bye.